How to build more muscle with calisthenics. Let's say you're on a decent basic level. You can do nice push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and you can move your body in all dimensions. What's next? Can you improve further, or does this mean that you've maxed out your gains? Not even close. You can really get more gains and build an elite physique with calisthenics only. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 best ways to get those gains in my opinion, using the basic exercises you can already do, so stay with me. The methods will be more and more exciting, and I left the best for the end. What's up guys, it's Adam from gymnasticsmethod.com. If you don't want to miss my upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell. And if you want to get access to all the Gymnastics Method workout programs, tutorials like planche, handstand or muscle up, nutrition guide, daily workouts and much more, click the link below and get started today. Before we start, I'd like to emphasize that based on my experience, most people need to focus on joint preparation or prehab and to learn the basics with the right technique before they start to use the methods I show here. So before you try what I will tell, it's worth to do a test for which you can find videos on the channel about the most important calisthenics basics, push-ups, inverted rows, dips and pull-ups. If you can see that you can't do them with the right form or you're not able to perform the reps with that tempo, it means you need to work on those. If you don't feel the right technique or you can't do full range of motion reps, your posture is bad during the exercise, you feel your core weak, then it's worth to step back or start doing the prehab exercises if you've never done those, like 90% of the people. Don't forget that the first step for true gains is to do the basics the right way. If you do those in a hurry with half range of motion, you won't reach the potential of the exercise, so you won't see the best possible results. This is a common misconception why people think that they can't reach a good physique with calisthenics, but this is simply not true. Be a little more strict with yourself, test the basics, and if you can't do them right, take the time to clean them up. But if you can do the basics right, you pass the tests, then you're ready to get started with these methods. I've already talked about the simple 3-phase calisthenics roadmap in one of my previous videos, where the 3 phases were the following. In the first phase, joint preparation or prehab. In the second phase, basic exercises with the right form. And in the third phase, learning the advanced moves with the right progressions. Now, in the third phase, we can talk about the so-called strength skills and sets and reps exercises, which are focusing more on general strength and hypertrophy. In this video, we'll dive into this part of the third phase and we'll check out how you can improve while building to the basic exercises I mentioned. The first and simplest way to get new gains is to do the advanced variations of the basic exercises. There are many variations of them, different kind of push-ups, rows, dips, pull-ups, where you can switch up the hand position, distances, or even one-arm variations, ensuring the further improvement. In terms of push-ups, you can do narrow, pseudo planche, elevated legs, archer, or one-arm version, building it up step by step. From inverted rows, you can do wide, archer, or one arm as well. In terms of dips, you can play with the distance, you can do it on a straight bar or archer. Not to mention the pull-ups, which you can vary many ways with the different grips, grip distances, you can do archer as well, or work on the one-arm chin-ups and pull-ups that will give you insane results. In terms of leg training, you can start working on the iconic pistol squat or other one-leg variations. I'm sure you'll feel the change in the intensity with all the advanced variations compared to the regular execution, and to all these, you just need to use your body weight only and the basic equipment you used before. The next amazing way to level up, particularly for the exercises in support, is to use gymnastics rings. This topic worth a dedicated video, but overall, I think we can't argue with the effectiveness of the rings. It's enough to take a look at the ring specialist gymnasts. Personally, if I must choose only one equipment to use for the rest of my life, it would be the gymnastics rings. People often say that all the exercises you do on the rings is 2 times, 5 times or 10 times harder than if you do the same on the floor or P-bars, obviously talking mostly about the exercises in support. Well, doing some exercises on the rings are truly challenging since your body needs to involve more muscle fibers to work than normally. And this evil equipment always moves to the places where you are the weakest, so you really need to put in the work, and this is why the rings are really effective in terms of gaining strength and size. What I also need to highlight is that even if you can't feel this instability during the exercises in hanging, you will feel more like the rings can move freely. That's another great benefit. Thanks to the free movement of the rings, while you're doing pulling exercises, you can decrease the load on your joints and avoid overload injuries like elbow pain that many people suffer from, which caused by doing pull-ups on the bar. So while you can clearly level up in the exercises in support, at the same time you can improve your pulling strength in a more gentle way in terms of joint health. I recommend to start using rings as soon as possible. You could see them in my inverted row videos already, and it's also worth to use them even if you're just in the learning phase of the pull-ups. If you can do the basics right, the variability is also great on the rings as well. Basically, you can do all the same variations on the rings as I showed you in the first point before. On the top of that, you can use most of the upcoming methods as well. If you want to learn more about rings exercises and skills, I have a complete Gymnastics Rings series on my website, so click the link below if you're interested. Another great way to build more muscle with your body weight only is to increase the time under tension during the exercises. What does that mean? Normally, while doing the basic exercises, we do 1 second concentric and 1 second eccentric phase, as you can see in the test videos as well. Best case. While with this method you need to do longer eccentric and concentric phases, even pauses, to increase the time under tension. If the time under muscle tension is longer than usual in a set, that means a greater stimulus to your neuromuscular system, so your muscles will be forced to gain. Let's take a look at the push-up as an example on how you can use this method. You can do simply 2 seconds eccentric phase and 2 seconds concentric phase instead of 1, 2 seconds eccentric phase, 1 second hold, and 1 second powerful concentric phase, or even pause for a second halfway both in the eccentric and concentric phases. These are some of the examples. You can implement these modified executions to the other exercises and you already made your exercises more intensive. The next really effective way to get those gains is to do explosive reps. In general, this means that you need to do the concentric phase of the exercises really powerfully with maximal explosive strength, still paying attention to the controlled eccentric phase. For example, in terms of push-ups, you can do really fast concentric phase, like even your hands come off the ground. To be able to do this, you can build up the strength the same way as with the regular push-ups, using an elevated surface. You can also use certain progressions with the other exercises, for example, as you could see in the how to do high pull-ups video. This method is another great way to involve more muscle fibers in the work to force your muscles to be able to grow. These reps will give you a great pump for sure. What's really important is that you really need to be patient with this, since the explosive strength is one of the hardest to improve in training. That's why most people suffer with the high pull-ups, for example. To get better in these takes more time, but the point is to be patient and consistent. If you want to max out your physique in calisthenics, then using weights to your basic exercises is a must. Of course, after the right basics. With the previous methods, you can maximize your technique and strength with your body weight only, but if you want to gain more muscle mass, you need extra weights. However, this doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym and use machines and weights. You can do body weight exercises with extra weight. You can use weight plates or kettlebells with a weight belt, or using a weight vest, or simply a backpack with books. After the previous methods, you can safely use an external weight as your exercises are properly implemented. However, it's very important to control yourself during this process, because if you have missing links, you can get injured. You can record and check yourself. As I mentioned, you can use extra weight placed on your body, for example in case of push-ups or rows, or you can hold in your hands during a leg exercise. For vertical exercises, wearing a weight belt or weight vest is recommended. These are the most effective tools. Weights can be increased whenever you can perform the given reps with using the current weight according to a conservative approach. The heavier the weight is, the better the adaptation time can increase. Do not use weights for ab exercises because you can get injured very easily. You can get the six-pack without weights. But that's only my opinion, and for any other exercises, you're good to go. Same as with the upper body exercises, so for the leg exercises, you should start using weights after your techniques are right. If that's done, I highly recommend to start adding weight to your leg training. I recommend to start working towards the methods in this order I mentioned, for one hand because of graduality, on the other hand, if you think long term, you have the time to enjoy the benefits of each method. Regardless, if you have the right basics, of course you can start with any of these and vary them as you want to. It's worth to use these methods in periods, improve in each of them, and give your body a different stimulus over and over again. Alright, let's see a quick summary. If you want to learn more about any of these methods, you can find a complete joint preparation and basic program, as well as ring series, time under tension programs, explosive training programs, and weighted calisthenics programs on the link below. These will be the 5 best ways to gain more muscle with calisthenics in my opinion, in terms of using basic exercises. Don't forget, if you want to train with my personal help and learn more about any of the methods I've mentioned, I got you with the programs, so click the link below and get started today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did so, please like, share, and write a comment. What do you want to see in the next videos? If you don't want to miss the new videos, subscribe with notifications on, and see you next week in the next video.